So I thought rather than taking a couple of pictures, I might do a small video just to give you a general idea of my working space here. And so I'm gonna do just that right now. Well, this is my little game area, and as you can see, my desk is a horrible mess. Just cluttered beyond belief with whatever, you name it, you know, dice, beer, cologne, camera, headphones, the good stuff, my computer. And you know, up top here I got just a couple of storage areas, my Dragon Ball Z DVDs, and you know, stuffed animal or two, and a couple of my better, larger bead sprites, Nidoking, Vegeta, Storm Eagle, and Mega Man X. And then I come on over here and I have all the Street Fighter characters in Mega Man style above my window frame, and the air conditioner is on because it's quite warm in here. I live on the 3rd floor. I got a couple more sprites down this way. Zero and Vile, and let's see, Overdrive Ostrich and Mega Man X from Mega Man X2. And, you know, just a bunch of crap, but bless you. And my games are over this way, and I'll start with my Super Nintendo. I've got, you know, a couple good boxes up here. You know, some of my, actually, you know, not really anything great up there, except of course for Final Fight. You can sort of see it, and Donkey Kong Country 2. And then, you know, my games here, the shelves. I got my two most valuable just right on display, of course, Earthbound and Castlevania Dracula X, but you know, it's all alphabetical order. And, it's all Super Nintendo, and I got a couple of Super Famicom games here, you know, including you know, Dragon Ball Z games, a couple of those. And I think, what do I got here, like Dragon Warrior or something. And you know, since I'm such a Street Fighter nut, you know, I had to have, you know, all 3 Super Nintendo Street Fighter games on Famicom, even though I have them on Super Nintendo, so it was kind of pointless. Yeah, moving on. Some of my better boxes are down this way. Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and my Super Famicom right in the middle there. And Super Mario Kart and Yoshi's Island. And then down here I have my complete in-box Game Boy games. And then down here I just have some loose NES plastic containers that I don't really use. And, I got, you know, all my N64 boxes, you know, probably the best one being Super Smash Brothers, obviously. I mean, I've had this since I was really young. You know, most of these are in really good shape. Most of them I've had since I was quite young. You know, Pokemon Stadium, the large one. Moving down, I just have some miscellaneous boxes. A friend of mine got this for me. It's all the art of Street Fighter, which I thought was wicked cool. So I just keep that right there, even though most of my other books are in another place. GameCube box, PS4 box, and well, this thing is actually really neat. It's right in the box. It's a Retro Duo portable, and it actually plays Super Nintendo games as a handheld. That's pretty neat. You know, it's got all the cables and everything, charging cable, and actually cables you can run right to the TV and use it as like a full-size Super Nintendo. So in case you didn't have one, this is actually kind of a nice way to go about it. Hard to buckle this stuff together with just one hand, but I'll make do. Stick that back where that belongs. And you know, complete in box Super Nintendo Super Scope 6, and behind that I just, you know, boxes of stuff that I didn't really have anywhere else to put. So, you know, nothing I really cared to display, just, you know, stuff that needed a home. So that's that shelf. And then I move on to this one here. The center shelf is a little guy. I got, you know, some of my console boxes right up top there. Obviously the Wii U and the Wii I bought myself. The Nintendo 64 was a gift for Christmas years ago. The control deck, this in box, I found this at Soundground a number of years ago for only 45 bucks, and it's in like perfect shape. Moving down, my uncle gave me this box. Didn't actually have the Super Nintendo in it, but he had the box laying around, so I took it. And this one right here is the actual Super Nintendo set that I got when I was younger. I got a couple of controllers and the NES 4-score, which is just invaluable. Even if you're just using it by yourself, like it just works as like a nice extension cord for your NES controllers. Going down most of my GameCube games, right along in here. I'm just going to kind of scan through. If there's anything you want to see, you can just pause the video. Wii and Wii U games, not a terribly big selection. My one PS4 game as of now. Everything else I have is just like a digital copy. I just downloaded it. Going down, PS2, not really anything crazy to mention here. I mean, probably my two favorite would be Mega Man X7. That one's really cool to own. I got to get that tag off of there. I'm usually pretty good about that, but I didn't. And then I have X8, which is, in my opinion, this game's just a failure. I never much liked it, but that's one out of many. So there you have it. And then Shinobi on display, of course. And I'm a huge Castlevania nut, so I had to have the Black Label Castlevania Symphony of the Night for PS1. And my memory card up there. Not that much. 64 games I got down here. Not a huge selection of them. Probably the most notable ones would obviously be Smash, because I have that one out, and I have the little adapter for Pokemon, and GoldenEye, of course, can't go anywhere without that. And then going down, my boxed Nintendo DS games, love Fire Emblem, and my 3DS games I have all right here. And down another layer, just some handheld junk. I mean, one of a couple original Game Boys that I have, but this is my nicer one, so I keep it readily available. And I got charging cables and cases and stuff. And yeah, when's the last time you seen one of these? Game Boy printer? Hell yeah, I had that since I was a young kid. Kick myself though for throwing the box away. These cases right here house my Nintendo DS's. I have a 3DS XL, a regular 3DS, and a DS Lite. And actually just got this at the flea market this year. Happy to pick it up since I hadn't had one in a long time. Was a Game Boy Color, which is pretty neat. Nothing real crazy, but I traded mine a long time ago when I was younger, so it was really cool to get that back. Then, 3DS box, DS Lite box, and a 3DS XL box over there. And then, Game Boy Advance box and Game Boy Pocket box. It's nice to have got that at the flea market last year. And, just some obscure manuals, and Barbie just happens to be on top. I don't even have that game. It's my sister's, but I held onto the manual. Just a bunch of loose manuals in here that I came across, just, I don't know how, like whenever I saw them, I would just get them. Friday the 13th, and there's a Zelda one in there, and Bomberman, which is cool to have, and Ninja Gaiden, Faxanadu, and whatever. There's a 72 pin connector, just one of my crappier Game Boys, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Pocket, and just a spare Game Boy case, a bunch of cables, Pokemon Pinball, and Game Boy camera, some of my original Game Boy games, Game Boy Colors back there too. Get in there. And Game Boy Advance games, and a few other handful of just regular Game Boy games in there. So there's that. And moving on to this shelf, I guess I'll just start at the bottom since I'm already sitting down and my cat's joining me. Hey, yeah. But I got my Atari down here. It's just a regular 4-switcher. I kind of wish I would have got the 6-switch because that's a lot more valuable. And underneath, I just have controllers and hookups and all that good stuff. And, put that back. And here's all the games that I have. Of course, Berserk is right on top. I mean, that's just a classic. I love Berserk. There's all that. Moving up, I have a, sorry about the shaky camera, I have a Sega Saturn right there, and Model 2 Genesis, neither of which really get much use, and a couple of my favorite boxed Sega games here. Mutant League Hockey, Battletoads, and of course the Shinobi games. Moving up there, I have all my loose Sega Genesis games, some really good ones too. Play the hell out of any of these really any day. Oh, great. You know, Gunstar Heroes. Just name one. Come on now. Oh, come on. It's not agreeing with me. You know, I'm just gonna set it down to hell with it. I'll fix it later. And more box Sega games right up here. Nothing really too terribly worth noting, but you know, just more of them. And going up, I have my NES collection right here. I'll just pan it out. Oh, you see down there I have a Donkey Kong arcade machine marquee. I got that at the flea market too. I got that for $10. That's actually really cool, because what you're supposed to do with this, I'm gonna make like a sign out of this someday, because you know, you can see it lights up real nice. Supposed to have a light behind it. You know, of course, if I had an arcade machine, that would be ideal. But this is what I'm working with. And all my NES games here. And it's all in alphabetical order from top to bottom. You know, about 200 and some odd of, yeah, I'm not really sure how many exactly at this point, but about 200, a little more than that. And complete in box NES games. A couple of my favorites right up front. I mean, Yoshi's Cookie, just disregard that. I just like the way the box looks. Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse back there, and Mario Bros. And you can kind of sort of see Tiny Toons. There's Buster Bunny just behind the gigantic Luigi that I keep on display. And you come around to the side, you can see that, you know, it's not all that I have. I mean, there's actually plenty more right here. NES cleaning kit, you know, just a few others I didn't really care to show. And it's the same thing to this side. I mean, I don't know how well you can really see it, but you know, there's more there too. You know, again, just games I didn't really care too much for. And well, that's actually all of them except for Castlevania 1, which, you know, there's a good reason for that, because that's what I'm going to be playing tonight. Here's my little living room area here. See, Castlevania's on the TV. It's a little dark in here because I got these funky colored lights on, but I'll turn a light on here and shine it over, show you my console setup. I got, you know, Xbox, NES, Super Nintendo. There's a Sega Genesis over there. My poor 64 is over there on the floor. I got GameCube, Wii U, Wii, my little surround sound setup, PS4. You know, the Wii U mote that just kind of sits there on its own, never really to be used too much. A modem, a couple 360 games, and that's just about all I'm working with, really. You know, nice, you know, decent little living room setup here. It's pretty comfy. You know, get some gaming done around here. Not too terribly bad. Couch. You know, there's a TV. There's a box fan, and you know, another love seat over there. So yeah, that's about it. I figured I'd just make a video and, you know, one up the whole camera idea. You know, I just got a few other things here. There's a stack of NESs and whatnot. You know, PS2 over there, and just junk laying around. So that's about it. Oh, 360 games are over here. Neat little 360 stand I got. Flea market a while back. Got the Guitar Hero guitar in there. Yeah, so that's about it.